Hello and welcome to the Jersey City Heat Races. We're here at the small Jersey City racetrack for 5 heats for 4 laps each. We're going to see some beating and banging around these tight corners. As let's take a look at our race information. There'll be 7 to 8 drivers per heat, and only 4 will make it out to see the main race. It's going to be a very, very intense 20 laps overall. We're going to have 4 lap heats, obviously, 5 heats overall. Lineups have been determined by qualifying. It's a very small 0.3 mile racetrack, and there are no track limits. These guys are going to be all over the place. As we now look at the track shape down into turn number 1, very, very tight corners. Then down the very short backstretch, you're going to see some moves, maybe 3, 4 wide even, as they hit turns 3 and 4, and then through that mini tri-oval, and back to the start-finish line again. There is your first heat of the day, beginning to get ready to get going here. And let's take a look at the starting lineup. Row 1, Chase Briscoe and Christopher Bell. Row 2 has Chase Elliott and John Hunter Nemechek. Row 3, Austin Cindric and Dillon. And row 4, Corey LaJoie, as we see the field now ready to get going. We're racing from Jersey City. Heat 1 is underway. Briscoe leading them down into turns 1 and 2. He's clear, and Elliott will go through him on the inside. Nemechek clear for the 4th spot. Bell not pleased with Elliott. He'll move him up the racetrack. They go side by side down the front stretch. And down into turn number 1, Bell gets the job done, and Nemechek's going to follow him through. 2.5 laps to go. Nemechek making his move on the bottom. He's still there, but Elliott hanging tough on the outside lane. Down into turns numbers 1 and 2. Still side by side. Nemechek gets his job done, but here comes Cindric. 3 wide at the bottom of the racetrack, down to that blue paint. 3 wide. He's clear. And Nemechek hangs up the top, but Elliott is going to have to go on this final lap if he wants any chance at advancing. 3 wide once again, Elliott goes. And Nemechek's on the outside now. Bell taking the lead away. Elliott's clear on the inside. Nemechek. Cindric. And it's going to be Nemechek who gets it at the line. And Bell, Briscoe, Elliott, and Nemechek are going to be the 4 drivers who are advancing. As we take another look, it was that move by Elliott. Cindric washes up the track a little bit. And Chase Elliott just able to get the job done on the bottom. Really smooth 3 and 4 by the 9. And at the line, it was Nemechek who got the nod. There is the very close finish. Very tight between them two. Here are your race results presented by Coca-Cola. Christopher Bell, Briscoe, Elliott, Nemechek, Cindric, and LaJoie, and Dillon finishes last. As we prepare now for the second heat of the day, we see Trackhouse cars dominating the front row. Todd Gilliland, Martin Truex Jr., row 2. Row 3 is Ryan Preece and Shane Van Gisbergen. And row 4, Kyle Larson, who spun out in qualifying. Very interesting to see where he goes. As the field approaches the start-finish line, 4 laps of Heat 2 is underway. Chastain and Suarez lead them down into turns 1 and 2. Suarez able to hang on the outside lane. He's doing a great job up there against Ross Chastain, who's pretty good on these short tracks. Larson continuing to bulldoze his way through the field, making that apron work down the front stretch. Suarez able to actually clear Chastain on the outside. A great move, and that 99 car is taking off very nicely. As Larson continuing his charge, Truex blocks low. He's going to push Truex to the inside of Gilliland for 3rd. And now they stay side by side down the backstretch with Larson close behind. Larson going to make a move to the bottom. He's there. Truex, Larson. Larson makes the slide job. Daniel Suarez continuing to lead here. Todd Gilliland is going to have to do something down here in 3 and 4 if he wants a chance. Suarez will win the heat. Gilliland not able to do it. And Martin Truex gets the final transfer spot. Here are the drivers transferring. Trackhouse dominating, and Larson charges from 7th all the way to 3rd. Here's what happened again. Move of the race. Kyle Larson just bulldozing his way through and past those 2 drivers. Here's the race results. Suarez, Chastain, Larson, Truex, Gilliland, Preece, and Van Gisbergen coming home in last. Now the third heat, ready to get going again. This one is a powerhouse. Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace on front row, Reddick and Barry in row 2. Row 3, Chris Buescher and Chandler Smith, and row 4 has Noah Gragson. These drivers want to advance. What will they do? The third heat is underway. Busch out to a good start now. Wallace on the outside. Oh, he's going to get pushed past his teammate by Josh Berry, who moves up into third. And he's looking for more. He's going to clear Reddick on the outside. A great charge by him. Kyle Busch continuing to lead. Wallace not far behind. But Berry's now looking for more. What a great charge by the Ford machine, as he'll go around the outside of the 23. This Ford car has some serious speed early on. Berry continuing to work on Wallace. He's going to just about get cleared on the front stretch as Reddick holds the fourth spot in the final transfer position. Last lap of the race. Does Buescher have anything left for the 45 of Reddick? He goes high. It's going to be 3 wide of the line. Reddick, Buescher, Smith. And at the line, too close to call. But now we're receiving word that it's going to be Chandler Smith who grabs the final transfer spot. What a race. There are your 4 who advance. And that was intense as we take a look at the replay again. Chandler Smith just charging down at the bottom. Reddick tried to defend the middle there, and that did not work out for him. There's your race results. Busch, Berry, Wallace comfortably advance, and Smith just edging out Buescher, Reddick, and Almirola. As we see, the next heat ready to get going. Brad Keselowski and Michael McDowell make up row 1. Row 2 has Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano. Row 3, Eric Jones and Jimmy Johnson. And row 4, Ricky Stenhouse and Carson Hocevar. 8 cars now in the seat, but only 4 can advance. We're racing. McDowell with a slow start. Hamlin able to clear up to second as he follows Keselowski down the backstretch on lap 1. Whoa, 3 wide. Logano moves. McDowell out of the way. He's got to go if he wants to advance. Jones working on Logano on the bottom, but Logano is holding serve on the top here as they move down the backstretch. Through 3 and 4, Jones on the bottom, Logano on the top. Logano's clear of Jones. And McDowell, oh, he blocks. But McDowell's around off the bumper of the 77 of Hocevar, and he'll come to rest on the front stretch. An intense hit for him. As we see what happens again, he just tries to block down that straightaway, and intense hit for him as we see the safety crew tending to the driver of the 34. There is Michael McDowell now on the tow truck. And Stenhouse did receive a little bit of damage from that, but he should be able to continue. But for the 34, his day will end in the garage. The 4th heat just about ready to get going again. As they're about to see the green flag, it's going to be 1 lap to go. Keselowski and Hamlin, who you got? Keselowski on the bottom. He's not able to clear Hamlin, who hangs on the outside lane. Logano in 3rd. Jones comfortably in 4th now for the final spot. Keselowski hangs on to win, followed by Hamlin, Logano, and Jones. Hocevar just missing out. There are your 4 drivers who advance. And that was quite the heat. A big wreck there on the front stretch as Keselowski, Hamlin, Logano, Jones, Hocevar, Johnson, and Stenhouse rounding out our field. There is the 5th and final heat ready to get going. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Row 1 has Alex Bowman and Ryan Blaney. Row 2, William Byron and Justin Haley. Row 3, Ty Gibbs and Corey Heim. And row 4, Harrison Burton and Allmendinger. There's the field ready to take the green flag. The final heat of racing is underway. They go down into turns number 1 and 2. Blaney, he gets cleared by Bowman on that inside lane. Single file for the top 2 positions, and Byron is going to be able to get by a fellow Chevrolet of Haley, as Blaney now putting the pressure on Bowman for the lead. Here they come. Blaney's going to move him up the track, and Ryan Blaney charges to the inside lane. Well, Byron trying to follow on the inside, but he's not going to be able to quite do it. Here's the fight for the final transfer spot. There's 2 laps remaining for it. He goes to the inside. Gibbs on the inside. Haley on the outside. And Burton's around after the leaders hit the white flag. And that's going to mean that Blaney will get the job done and win. And Ty Gibbs is not going to be able to advance. Justin Haley, in an upset, is going to take the final spot. And there are the 4 who will advance out of the final heat. Wow. Just wow. There's the four going home. Very surprising here as we take a look at the results. Blaney, Bowman, Byron in third, Haley in fourth, Gibbs, Heim, Allmendinger, and Burton spinning out on the final lap, still able to finish. There are the drivers who have been able to fight their way through these heat races, very intense here in Jersey City, and they will advance to the main event that will be releasing sometime later this month. Some really good drivers put on display here, and some really big upsets. You see Nemechek, you see Haley, Suarez dominating his heat, even Chandler Smith. Just all around really good racing here today, and we'll see that from the main event. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time on the Red Flag Racing Network.